we are asked to design a context free grammar for the language a raised to I, b raised to j, c raised to k, such that I is equal to j plus k, and I, j and k, their values can be either greater than or equal to 0. Now few things before we actually start. Okay, we have seen that if we have p, okay, p raised to q plus r, this can be actually written as p raised to q into p raised to r. Okay, so we are going to make use of this particular identity, basically a mathematical identity. Okay, so p raised to q plus r can be written as p raised to q into p raised to r. So we are going to make use of this identity. Now, what can you see? What can you observe from this particular language? First, the order of A's, B's and C's is very crucial. That means after all the A's are exhausted, then B's will start, and after all the B's are exhausted, only then C's will start. Something like this. Okay, if you look at this string. But the second observation is yet a different one, which says I equal to j plus k. Now B is repeated j number of times, C is repeated k number of times, and the value of I is such that it is the addition of j and k, which simply means how many A's will be there in a valid string. The total number of A's present in any valid string should be equal to the sum of B's and C's which are present. Okay, so suppose in the given string, suppose there are 3 B's and 3 C's, so there has to be exactly 5 A's. So that's the meaning of this, right? So now with this idea, let's continue. So we can rewrite a raised to I, b raised to j and c raised to k. Okay, using the definition that I is equal to j plus k, we can write this as a raised to j plus k into b raised to j into c raised to k. Now this can be further written as, I just told you the mathematical identity, p raised to q plus r is actually equivalent to p raised to q into p raised to r. So we are going to use this mathematical identity, and accordingly we can write this as a raised to j, a raised to k, b raised to j and c raised to k. Now we'll slightly shuffle the order of A's and a raised to k and a raised to j. We'll shuffle their places so that the final string that we get, okay, the final string that we get is, I can write this as a raised to k, then a raised to j, then b raised to j and then c raised to k. Okay, so this is a kind of string that is supposed to be accepted by the language. Now looking at this string, one thing is very clear. Number of A's, if you see the inner part, if you see this inner part, it tells you that number of A's and number of B's should be equal, and we have already designed a CFG for the language L equal to a raised to n, b raised to n, such that n is greater than equal to 0. We have already designed a context free grammar for this, where number of A's and number of B's are equal, right? So first we will have to design a context free grammar for the inside part, and then if you see the outside part, it just tells you that inner part will take care of number of A's and number of B's being equal. The outer part actually should do what? For every A there has to be a matching C. So equal number of A's and equal number of C's should be there outside. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll break this problem into two parts. Okay, the first part, okay, now to calculate productions for a raised to j, b raised to j. Okay, so productions for a raised to j, b raised to j. Now we have already done this before. Okay, so the productions can be S1 gives A, S1 B or null. So this is a production. I have directly written this production because we have already designed a context-free grammar for this language in the previous problem. Okay, so I am directly taking the result over here. Okay, for exam you can prove this also. I mean you have to solve for this language first, get the regular expression, get the context-free grammar productions and then continue. Okay, so I am directly writing this now. So this production S1 gives A, S1 B or null will ensure that, okay, for every A you get a matching B. So as S1 will be called again and again, it will give one A before S1, one B matching one B after S1. So this will take care of the thing that a number of A's and number of B's are equal. And finally, when there are no more A's and B's required, what will happen? S1 can be replaced with null. Okay, so we have already seen this. So S1 production is going to take care of A raised to S1 production is going to take care of A raised to J, B raised to J. Now next question is okay, so S1 production takes care of A raised to J, B raised to J. That means it ensures that number of A's and number of B's in the inside part are equal. Now let us see how can we ensure that for every A, the outside A, there is a matching outside C. Okay, so let S1 gives A, let S gives, not S1, let S gives A, S1 C be a production. Now what will happen? Please note, suppose the string that is given to us is say 3 A's, 2 B's and a single C. Okay, now note that in this string the number of A's happen to be 3 and how many B's and C's are there? There are 2 B's and 1 C. So total number of B's and C's over here is 3. So the number of A's should be 3. So this is a valid string. Now now let us see the production that I have written here, whether it is correct or no, whether it is taking care of this kind of strings or no. Okay, so starting with the start symbol, okay, let us consider S is the start symbol for this production. Why? Because you see, from S1 production you cannot reach S, but from S production you can reach S1 because on the right hand side there is S1. So obviously out of these two, let us consider that this is the start production and S is the start symbol. Okay, so now this string which is given to me, I can say that this is a valid string only if from the start symbol S, if I am able to derive this string. So let's see whether whatever productions I have written is correct or no. Okay, so let's trace it. I start with S, start symbol. Okay, now S, there is only one way S can be replaced with A, S1, C. So I will replace S with A, S1 and C. So which will take care of this A here and this C here. It will take care of this A here and this C here. So you will get an A here and you will get a C here. Fine. Now what remains is there has to be exactly 2 A's and exactly 2 B's. Fine. So since S1 is there, so from S I have reached S1. No? Now S1, what we will do? We will replace S1 with A, S1B. I can replace S1 with either null or A, S1B. But since I want 2 pairs of ABs, I will prefer choosing this one to replace S1 rather than null. Okay. So further what I can do is, now A and C first of all I will write as it is. Now S1 will be expanded with A, S1B. So that will ensure that another A and another B are considered. Again you want another last pair of AB, correct? So again this S1, when you expand further, first of all you write existing 2A's and existing BC's here. Now this S1 which is there, okay, S1, since I want another AB, what we will do, S1 I will again replace it with S1, again I will replace it with A S1B rather than null. So S1 I will replace it with A S1B, A S1B. So that now ensures that for this A there is a B. Agreed? So have I got the string? Yes. This is a valid string, and from the start symbol I was able to reach this final string. Now since there are no more characters which are remaining to be calculated or traced, finally S1 that is remaining can be replaced with null. Okay, so what I will do, this S1 I will replace it with null. So finally the string that I get is 3 A's, 2 B's and a C. So that's why I can now say that what exactly this production does, why I wrote this production. Basically, the moment S1 production is considered, S1 production will ensure that for every A there is a matching B. So this will take care of A raised to J and B raised to J sequence. So suppose there are 10 A's, it will make sure that there are 10 B's, equal number of A's and B's. Otherwise it will it will say that it is not a valid string. Fine. So this S1 production is going to guarantee you that number of A's and number of B's are equal. But outside this, who will take care of equal number of A's and C's? Okay, that's why I wrote another production called as S. And S production replaces itself with S1 AC. So S1 will take care of number of A's and B's being equal, and outside there is one A and there is one C that will take care of A and C. But the problem over here is, okay, this production over here that I have written, it adds single A and ensures that this single A gets matched to a single C. But what if there are more A's and more C's? Okay, what if there are more A's and more C's? So for just a matter of fact, what we will do is we will take another example. Okay, we will take a bigger example. In fact, let's say there are 5 A's. The string that is given to me has 5 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's, or let's say 6 A's. Okay, so 6 A's, and suppose there are 3 B's and there are 3 C's. Is this a valid string? Check. A raised to I, B raised to J, C raised to K, and I should be such that I should be addition of J and K. That means total number of B's and total number of C's, whatever is the count, that many A's should be there, right? Now how many B's and C's are there? There are 3 B's and 3 C's. So there is the total count is 6. So you should have 6 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a valid string. Okay, now let's try to see whether this string is accepted or no using this productions that I have designed. Okay, so again I told you when you consider these two productions, okay, the start symbol is S. So I start with the start symbol S and I replace S with its right hand side, that is A S1C. Same thing what I did in the previous example. S is replaced with AS1C. So with this what will happen? This A gets matched with this C. Done. But now S is no longer present. Okay, when I replace S with AS1C, what has happened is we have jumped to S1 production, and in S1 production there is no S. What S1 production does? S1 production will ensure that equal number of A's and equal number of B's are there. So S1 production at the most can ensure that for 3 B's you have exactly 3 A's. Who will ensure this? S1 production will ensure. But what about these 2 A's and the remaining 2 C's which has to be matched? Okay, only S production is going to take care of A's and C's. But what is happening? When S is replaced with AS1C, the non-terminal S gets disappeared. It is not appearing again, and what gets appeared is S1. S1 can take care of equal number of A's and B's, but who is going to take care of 2 remaining A's and 2 remaining C's? Right? So this kind of string will not be accepted in that case. If you continue this way, okay, if you continue this way, S1 can be replaced with either A, S1B or null. So let's say if I replace this with A, S1B, what will happen? Already there is A, already there is C, and now S1 gets replaced with A, S1B. Okay, is this the string that is required? Is this the string that is given to us? No. So which means the productions that we have considered so far, they are incomplete. There has to be something else which is required. There has to be one more term or one more production that is required. Now, so what I do, I again write another production. S gives A, S, C. I write another production. S gives A, S, C. Now let's check whether this production will work. Okay. Again, I will take the same string. I'll take the same string, and for the same string, let's check whether this will work or not. As you can easily make out, S happens to be the start symbol or start production. I will call this as a start production now. Okay. Actually, whether it is this S or whether it is this S, actually these two productions can be written down as one production. So anyway, that will be a start production. So undoubtedly S has to be the start symbol. So to get this string, I start from the start symbol. So let me start. I start from the start symbol S. Agreed? Now S, you can either replace S with A, S1C, or you can replace S with A, S, C. Now the logic behind me choosing this one and not this one is that, see, the number of C's and number of A's are not just one A and one C. There is no one pair, but there are actually 3 pairs of A's and 3 pairs of C's that has to be matched, right? If I replace S with A, S1C, it will definitely help me match one A with one C, but for more A's and C's that are remaining, this thing will not work. So what I do, since I know that this option hasn't worked in my previous case when I calculated, I will go for the next option, that is this. So I will replace S with A, S, C. Let's see whether this works. Okay. Remember students, there is no hard and fast formula or rule to how to design these productions. I am solving this example just to show you that this is all trial and error method. Okay. So you have to take examples and you have to trace. Try and only then you will realize how the production should be. Okay, so there is no formula, there is nothing, it is only observation and trial and error this way. Okay, so now start. So I will replace S with A, S and C. So it will take care of this A and this C. One A, one C, it's taken care of, right? But you want another A and another C to be taken care of, right? So what I will do, again I have an option of replacing this S. Okay, I have an option of replacing this S with either AS1C or ASC. Now if I replace it with AS1C, what will happen? Okay, there will be another pair of A and C that will be matched. Okay, but how many pairs of A and C are remaining to be matched? I want for 2 A's, I want 2 C's to be matched. So I cannot go for this replacement, I will have to go for this replacement. Okay, because if I do this replacement, it can only give me one matching pair of A and C, and then since S disappears and what we get is S1, you will not be able to match the last A and C pair which is remaining, right? So again this S I am going to replace it with A, S, C. So as it is A and C from the previous step I am writing, and S I will be replacing with A, S and C. So that's how I get 2 A's. Okay, that's how I get 2 A's matched to 2 C's. Is it clear? So I get 2 A's matched to 2 C's. Now what is remaining is one more A and one more C. Only one pair of A and C is remaining. And then what is to be matched is 3 A's with 3 B's. So this who will take care of? S1 will take care of this. But only one A and one C has to be matched. Okay. So next what I will do, again when S is to be replaced, I have an option of replacing S with ASC or AS1C. Now if I replace it with this one, it will give me only another matching pair of A and C, and then it will take care of A's and B's. So what I will do now, since I have only one more pair here, since I have only one more pair to be matched, okay, that is this A and this C, okay, I will go for this. So what I do, I replace S. Before that, 2 A's and 2 C's I will write as it is, and I will now replace S with A S1C. So S will be replaced with A, S1 and C, and that is how I have now matched exactly 3 A's and 3 C's. So I have matched 3 A's and 3 C's. Agreed, no? So the work of S is over. S production, it ensures, I have already told you what S production ensures. S production ensures that at in the beginning, whatever number of A's are there, in the end of the string, the same number of matching C's should be there. So it is only matching A's and C's in the outer side here. So this matching, the outer matching is done by S, and the inner matching is done by S1. Okay, so outer matching is done already, no? Now what I'll do, this S1, okay, now S1 can be replaced with either null or AS1B. Now how many A's and how many B's to be matched? See, for first this A and this B will be matched, then this A and this B will be matched, then the last A and last B will be matched. Okay, please, and yeah. So S1 will be replaced with, I will replace S1 with A, S1B. So what I'll do, as it is, whatever A's are there, 3 A's are there, 3 C's are there, I'll write as it is. And now this S1 which is there, okay, S1 I will be replacing with A, S1B. Okay, so what has happened? This A has now matched with this B. Correct? Now there is another match that is required. So again I have an option of replacing S1 with either null or AS1B. So I will go with AS1B because I want another pair to be matched. So first I will write down already existing 4 A's and B, C, C, C that I have obtained in the previous steps, and now S1 I replace with A, S1B. So with this I have now matched this B with this A, and what is now remaining is only one last pair. So again what I will do, this S1 I will replace it with another AS1B. That AS1B will be for this last pair, and then whatever other elements are there, I will, these elements I'm just going to write as it is. So before this I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4, say 5 A's here, and I have 2 B's and 3 C's. I have 2 B's and 3 C's. Okay, now have we obtained the string that was required? You see how many A's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 A's are obtained, and total number of A's should be the number of A's should be actually the sum of total number of B's and total number of C's. So there are 3 B's and 3 C's, so 6 total. So 6 A's are there. So that means I have already obtained the required string. So now this last S1, again you can replace S1 with AS1B or null. Since there are no more replacements required, I can just replace S1 with null. So finally what I do is I replace this S1 with null, and as a result the string that I obtain is 6 A's, 3 B's and 3 C's. So finally the string that I obtain is 6 A's, 3 B's and 3 C's. So I have got the required string. Okay, so finally what I say, thus the final productions are S gives ASC or AS1C and S1 gives AS1B or none. Okay, and finally we write, therefore the required CFG is G equal to, now tell me how many variables are there, non-terminals. There are two non-terminals now, S and S1. So capital S and capital S1, these are the non-terminals. Okay, V, terminal C, you have A, you have B and you have C. Okay, so small case letters A, B and C. Fine, this C is small case, this is small case. And then start symbol. Now looking at this, you can easily make out from S1 can you reach S? No, because on the right hand side of S1 there is no S. So from S can you reach S1? Yes. So this has to be the start production and S is the start symbol. So start symbol is S, not S1. Okay, and P are the productions, where production is what? S gives ASC or AS1C, this is one production, and S1 gives AS1B or none. So these are the productions and this is the required context-free grammar. So this is how the problem is solved. In this example, we are asked to design a context-free grammar that accepts a palindrome string. Now what is a palindrome string? Okay, now if you consider a string of this type, say A, B, B, A, if you read the string from this side as well as if you read from this side, it will sound the same, A, B, B. Okay, so when you read the string from both the sides, the string does not change, it remains the same. Okay, now here this kind of string is called as palindrome. One thing that you can observe is the first element and the last element of the string is there is a matching, they match. Second element of the string and second last element of the string, they match, and so on, right? Now if you see the length of this string, this is called as even length palindrome. You have another kind of palindrome which is for odd length palindrome. Now for example, if you consider AB, B, BA. Now here if you consider the first element matches with the last element, second element matches with the second last element, but the middle element here, we call it as middle marker character, there is no match, this is extra. So this kind of palindrome is called as odd length palindrome. Although there is no match for this middle character, still it is palindrome, because if you read the word from this side as well as this side, it will still be read as A, B, 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 A. Okay. So when you are asked to design CFG for palindrome string, we will first try to design it for even length string, and then we will see how to design CFG for odd length string. Now when we are going to design even length palindrome, when you talk about even length, even number is 0, 2, 4 and so on. Now what is the string with length 0? It's a null string. So when I consider null, okay, null is also a palindrome because it is of even length. Okay, 0 is an even length, and when you read null from both the sides, it is still null. Okay, so if you ask me for even length palindrome, which is the minimum possible string, okay, so the minimum possible string will be null. So if you start from the start symbol, null should be accepted. So this is a production for minimum string. Okay, now what are the other possible strings? Say other possible string will be of length 2 or length 4 and so on. So in general, suppose I have a string a b b a, or say b a b. These are the even length palindromes. So one thing you observe, that for a there is a matching a. For the first element there is a matching last element. For second element there is a matching second last element. For third element there is a matching third last element. And there is no one middle character extra. Okay. So in general, if I write, okay, S gives A S A or B S B. Suppose if I write this, then will it detect this as palindrome? Let's say I take this string BAAB. Will this production detect that it's a palindrome? Okay. So S is the start symbol. So I start with the start symbol. Now I can replace now S with either ASA or BSB or null. Now since I am trying to match the first element with the last element of the string, what I am interested in is B and B. So I will go for this replacement. I will replace S with BSB. So that's how I replace S with BSB. Next I want a matching A and A. So the S which is there, I will be now replacing it with ASA, because that's how I will get for this A matching A. Okay. So how can I expand this further? First of all, I will write B as it is, and then S can be replaced with ASA, and that's how I have got for this A, I have got a matching A. Is there anything else left? No, there is no other element which is left. So finally, when nothing else is left, this S I replace it with null. Okay, I use the third replacement. As a result, what I get is B A B as a string. That's a palindrome, right? So therefore, okay, so this is basically production for other strings. Okay, therefore final set of productions are S gives ASA or BSB or null. Okay, now this is for even length palindrome. Next we are going to see how to find out odd length palindrome. So there is a small modification that we are going to do. Okay, now for odd length palindrome, other replacements are correct. Now for example, if I consider an odd length palindrome, say BA, AB, and there will be one extra middle marker character, and that extra character could be either single A or single B. Correct? Now other productions, for example, first element should be matched to the last element, second element should be matched to the second last element, third to third last. This mechanism is exactly same as what we do for your even length palindrome. The difference is that here whenever I talk about odd length, okay, odd number starts with 1, 3 and so on. So null will no longer be the minimum possible string. And what will be the minimum possible string in that case? So for odd length palindrome, the minimum possible string of length 1 will be either single A or single B. So A, when you read from this side or this side, it will be still read as A. B, if you read from this side or this side, it will be still read as B. Right? So minimum possible string will be, so for minimum possible string, the production will be, so what will change is this. For even length, the minimum string was null. So for minimum string, the production will be, okay, the production will be S gives either single A or single B. So this will be for the minimum string. And for other strings, okay, for other strings we will have the same production, that is S gives ASA or BSB. Okay, so for other strings, okay, the production is S gives ASA or BSB. Okay. Now, if you want to trace, suppose the string given is AB, say ABA. Now you see this is even length. This is odd length. Okay. So let's start from the start symbol. Okay, I can replace S with either single A, single B, or ASA or ASB. What I want is A and A. What I want first is A and A. So I will replace S with ASA. Okay. Next, what I want is this B should be matched to this B. So I will replace S with BSB. So I will first write A, then S will be replaced with BSB, and that's how I will get this B and I will get this B and this B. And now what remains is a single A. So then I can substitute this S with a single A. So what I will get is a string, the required string. So is it not palindrome? Yes. So at any point of time, this S, either it can be A or B. Okay. Therefore, the final productions are S gives ASA or BSB or A or B. So for example, suppose they ask you the even length palindrome, then the set of production, the final productions will be this. Okay, so this is for even length palindrome. And suppose they ask you odd length palindrome, then the final productions will be this. Okay, and accordingly then you can write the required grammar G is, just write what is V, T, S, T, you can just write. Okay, so these are the examples that I wanted to solve. Now in the next lecture we are going to go to the next topic.